This is why employees stop putting in the 2 weeks before they go.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I do want to let you know that the company has decided to end your employment with us effective immediately.
So y'all, I just currently put my 2 weeks notice in at my job. And they went ahead and fired me because I put in the 2 weeks notice.
Have you ever been fired for giving a 2 week notice? That's right, children. It's time for another game of HR horror stories.
So when I quit my job, oh now I'm mega loud. When I quit my job before, I had put in a 2 week notice like it's supposed to. Some people don't like have it work out. I'm sorry for that gap. Some people don't have it work out. So we're going to see about that. How about you in your 2 weeks? Do you give 2 weeks or you just leave?
Have I ever given 2 weeks? I don't know. I think I did once, but yeah, apparently they're not honoring these 2 weeks notices at a lot of these companies nowadays, which is crazy because that's like the courtesy and you're doing the right thing, but then they're like, nope, we're going to let you go right now. It's like,
Couldn't be me.
these companies and their entitlement, like, they don't give you notice when they fire you.
They don't.
It's crazy.
So we're going to see about that.
Have you ever been fired for giving a 2 week notice? That's right, children. It's time for another game of HR horror stories. Corporate America has this wonderful thing where they like to say nobody wants to work anymore, and then they do things like this, and people wonder why. Leslie writes in, I've been with my company for almost 7 years. I've seen countless people come and go. I even made it through the layoffs. So I understood we were short-staffed, but we hadn't gotten raises since COVID, and I needed to make more money. I respectfully put in my 2 week notice. I even did a letter of intent. I had always been a cheerleader for the company, and in my letter stated that I was happy with the company, but it was time for me to move on and do bigger and better things. See, they told me a while back that my secretary position was capped at $15 an hour. There was no more funds for them to pay me. Other than a cost of living raise, I was capped out. Again, in my letter, I stated I was willing to train someone else and that they had 2 weeks and even longer if they needed me to train somebody to fill my position. If you think high school drama travels fast, wait until you get into the corporate world. By 4 o'clock that afternoon, everybody knew that I was leaving. My boss called me into the office at 4:55. Now, granted, we leave at 5 o'clock. I figured it was a, hey, I hate you're leaving. No, it was a clean out your desk before you leave. Today is your last day. How dare you leave us in a tight spot? You know that we are short-staffed. Clearly, you're not a team player, so there's no room for you here. So my 7 years of service, coming in early and staying late, working countless hours, meant nothing at the end of the day. I wasn't too terribly upset because I had planned on leaving in the first place. But you tell me, corporate America, I've done everything that you had asked us to do just for you to get rid of me when I tried to do it respectfully. Is there even a point of doing a 2 week notice if you're going to give your employees a 2-day notice, as in 2 days is your last day? Hey, if you have an HR horror story, please tell us down here in the comments. And if you're a walking HR violation or HR scapegoat, well, please check out the stickers up here.
Like, can we be real here? Like, what is it with like the whole? It's like we're short staffed. I don't like you since you are trying to quit. This is not my problem. It's not my fault. Also, isn't the 2 week notice to help out with that situation in the first place?
Yeah.
So he did everything he's supposed to. You're short staffed. Okay, let's give you 2 weeks to help try to hurry up and find a person. You know you can interviews together. Maybe you guys should be working on that if you're short staffed.
They just made the situation worse for themselves because, like, why would you let them go early if you're short-staffed? It doesn't make any sense.
I've told this story before, but they were trying to threaten us, sending us home early when they had no one else there. They didn't do it and we also didn't hurry up like they wanted us to because it was a dumb thing and we all knew it was dumb. So don't threaten someone with that.
Like, it's actually ridiculous. And then if you don't give a 2 weeks notice to a job, then basically you're leaving on not so good terms with them. And you possibly, most likely won't be able to ever work there again. At least that's what they say at some of these companies.
And if they're so short staffed, they'll let you work there again. If they're not, they're just being babies.
Exactly. And it's like all up in the system. So even if it's like they have different locations and branches, you won't be able to work at any of them.
Which is dumb. which is only should be reserved for people who caused issues like fraud manager or something.
Exactly. And then there's like situations where you can't give a 2 weeks notice. Like, what if something came up and you had to leave?
My grandma blew up. Gotta go back to my house, take care of my grandpa's before he blows up.
Yeah, or you have like some crazy opportunity. Like, not everything is about this company. The world does not revolve around this company.
It doesn't. And I think I like to say this. I think it revolves around they're taught in the corporation that their lives, that the workers' lives are the company. Without the company, they don't have a life. So they should be blah, 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 this, that, basic slaves. It's ridiculous.
Yep, that's why they want AI working for them instead of human beings.
Sucks. Sad.
It's really sad.
I can't believe that there are people out there that are actually willing to quit their job without a 2-week notice. I mean, do they understand what kind of damage that does to the company or what kind of damage that does to their coworkers? It's selfish and unprofessional is what it is. That was the topic of discussion at a leadership and development class I went to over the weekend. I love going to these things. Number one, it's absolutely great content. Number two, I go like this. I stick out like a sore thumb. I'm not wearing a suit and tie. And I ask the questions that I feel like most of us want answers to. When the panel was asked about 2-week notices and layoffs, I simply asked, when's the last time any of you have ever been fired? Scratch that. When's the last time any of you were terminated or laid off without a severance package? If we're going to be honest, when's the last time your card was ever declined? With this current economy and market, are you struggling to pay bills? Did you receive a bonus or a pay adjustment to be able to compete in this competitive market to keep you where you're at? Because the ground level people who are leaving in droves did not. Most of your employees that you laid off during COVID got a 2-day notice, as in 2 days is going to be the last day of your employment. The employees that you have now are in a position to where they are now doing the task of the employees that you let go of, and they are not being compensated for it. If you are making price adjustments to your product to be able to stay competitive in this market, then you have to make price adjustments to your employees to be able to stay competitive in this market as well. Most of your employees understand risk and reward. We do not have the same risk that you have in operating this company. However, we do run the risk every day that you can tell us to go home. It's not the compensation that is being discussed. It's the amount of compensation that is being discussed. If you take away the incentive programs that allow your employees to want to stay and do better, then they will no longer want to stay and do better. I recently did a video about all these franchises that are closing because they have priced themselves out of the market. And this idea of no 2-week notice is what's happening on a bigger level. People are pricing themselves out of the market. Average employees, the ones that are out here doing the work, are priced out of the market. Between housing, gas, and general living, people cannot afford to go to work anymore. You're worried about what's making them leave. Well, I think you need to be more worried about how to make them stay.
I'll say that last part is very true.
Yep.
Because what is the highest thing that people are looking for, like the job market that is just full of people flooded right now, is work from home technology jobs. Because people can't afford to keep going outside. It's too dangerous. Anything can happen at this point. Might as well just stay at home and work. At least out there I can save some money.
And the gas prices are ridiculous. Like, no one can afford to drive at this point.
Nope. And we don't, and everyone's like we got to blame, it's not the government we got to blame. Well, it kind of is. But we also got to blame the oil people themselves, but we won't, so we'll never come to a conclusion that will actually get us a cheaper alternative.
Yeah, and then some people are probably getting rid of their cars now because of just the prices of everything. The average car payment for the auto loans now is like $400 a month. That's ridiculous. And the interest rates are high for cars. But it's just too much for the average person.
I'll add this too. The darn old, most of the places in America, most definitely, are not biker, pedestrian, public transport friendly. Yeah. So there's legit no other way to get to your job except for via car. Okay. So basically you're kind of screwed there. That's why everything sucks. Okay.
I saw a map before that showed how like all of that changed from like the 20s, the 1920s or something, maybe even earlier than that, how everything was like in walking distance, but then they expanded it out. So now you have to get everywhere by car.
You know whose fault it is? The automotive industries.
Yep.
They made it illegal to walk in the street. It used to be able to walk in the street. Like, People are dying because of cars. It's their fault.
It sucks.
Look up the history of jaywalking. It's actually a slur.
Oh yeah. People forget that a lot.
They do. They do.
Sad reality. Oh.
This new generation of workers, right, come here, they are realizing that 2-week notices are useless, right? There's really no point in having them. You want to know why? Because a 2-week notice is so a job can get prepared to replace you, right? It's a respect thing. However, a job can fire you at any point in time and not treat you any respect at all or even care for your well-being. So tell me this, why would you respect a company, right, who doesn't even see you as a person? They just see you as a replaceable asset. It makes no sense, right? And what do companies say too? If you don't honor the 2-week notice, you can never work here again. Come here. They were never going to come back anyway, right? What else? If you don't honor a 2-week notice, they're going to give you a bad reference if a job calls you. Come here. They were never going to put you up as a reference anyway. They were going to put their best friend's phone number and let them pretend like they used to work for them. Look, I'm telling you, the new generation of workers are just smarter. 2-week notices are not a thing anymore.
Better yet, with that reference thing, just put your family member's phone number and just say, hey, I'll put you as a reference. If a company calls you, we're not family, especially if it works if you don't have the same last name like me and my sister. They're going to call you to say you worked with me. It works every time.
We could definitely do that because we kind of did that before.
We did.
Because of the insurance company, a local insurance company that we used to work at together, it shut down.
Yeah.
You can just basically put anything on the resume for that because the owners do not care. They just wanted to help us out. And the people will call them up and ask about the reference and all that. And they will just vouch for us.
Actually, funny thing enough, I had a question about that. I was meant to ask you. I could do it here. Since one of the owners has passed away and the company's defunct, do I just keep that on my resume and I can just say anything? They can't call him.
Well,
He's gone. The company's gone.
yeah.
The wife is somewhere else. I don't know where she's at. I never had her number.
Yeah. So now, you can just put my number and I can vouch for you. But yeah, everything you did there still stands, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, that's good. That's good. The company's completely gone. So I was like, what now? The owner's gone too. Like, what now? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's just the way that it happens usually because not every business survives out here. So you can keep those businesses and your previous jobs on your resume even if the business goes out of business one day or something happens with it. You just have to explain that to them if they ask.
Exactly. So that's like, oh yeah, what happened to this one business? Oh yeah, they're gone. Guy completely just kicked the bucket. It's all gone. So you're gonna use that information though?
I guess so.
But I like to say this too. They really don't tell you 2-week notice. They don't have to tell you any notice. It's a 2-day notice. I had a coworker that I was really cool friends with. He walked in to do the shift. Finally had someone else to help me out because I was a bagger, and I had no one else to help me out. They pull him off. He leaves. They fired him. We were struggling already, but we got put 2-week notice to make sure they're not understaffed.
I don't hear no complaints from them anymore.
That means in 2 weeks to hire more people.
Exactly.
So come on.
These companies are just ridiculous. If you are that short-staffed, then why don't you have people lined up to come in or just put in more work to get more people?
Temp agencies exist for a reason.
They do.
So come on.
People will do it.
This is why employees stop putting in the 2 weeks before they go.
Hi, Stephen. How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I do want to let you know that the company has decided to end your employment with us effective immediately. Although you did submit a 2 weeks notice, we appreciate it, but our company does not have to honor that. So with that, we are ending your working relationship with us today. So what I would like for you to do, Stephen, is please log out of all company accounts and systems right away. So we will also need you to return any company property that you have, such as your equipment, And what we'll do is we'll follow up with instructions on how to return these items and details about your final paychecks and any other benefits that you may be entitled to at this time. So, Stephen, I know this is not information that you're wanting to hear, but I do want to thank you at least for your contributions.
Hey, excuse me, but I just put that 2 weeks notice in today. I sent it over to my team lead.
Understood. And we advise the team lead as well that we don't have to honor it. We don't. So with that, we're going to go ahead and end your employment with us effective immediately.
So I heard the end there. They didn't even tell the team lead. They are about to go tell them now that they are losing a member.
That's actually insane.
That's actually insane.
Like, what is...
What the heck?
I don't understand the workplace these days.
And the team lead's going to be screwed over for that too.
Yeah. Just putting everybody in jeopardy, I guess. He did the right thing. So, like, why is he getting fired?
You know what? That's first one comment says, never give 2 weeks notice. They'll notice.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 weeks, they're going to notice when you're gone anyway. So,
like, oh, we don't have to honor that.
like, all right, cool, sweet. See you.
And then what if you're relying on the 2 weeks because you can't afford to not have a job for 2 weeks?
That's legit what it really is. It's supposed to, this 2 weeks just gives the company 2 weeks to help try to find somebody or get someone else trained up to do something. And it's supposed to help you get enough money so you can go into the next job. But at this point, you need like a 5 months notice because job market sucks.
Yeah. At this point, I would just suggest to kind of ask around at your workplace if they honor 2 weeks notices or try to figure that out somehow or plan for it. Like, see, if you're going to quit, just plan that out so that you're not going to be like in a bad spot if they do decide to not honor that 2 weeks notice.
I'm going to say this. My job I used to work at, they honored it. And also they were trying to convince me to stay the entire time. But that's what jobs should be doing.
Yeah.
If they're not finding someone else, they should try to convince you to stay. They even when I quit, I came back to the building. They tried to get me to rehire because they were paying more.
They're that short staffed.
They're that short staffed. And now I don't see no one there that I used to work with. So I guess they didn't even need it.
I don't know what changed, but they are constantly busy. So
yeah,
I don't know.
The company's making like $100,000 a day. So, and that's that one building. So it don't matter.
Probably an hour.
Yeah. It honestly might be because I looked at one of the sheets of the money transfer stuff they had going on. They make a lot of money within a day, so it don't matter. They're good. Yeah.
Hire more people. They have that much money.
Yeah. It's franchise, so
Exactly.
that's the corporate's fault at that point.
Corporate world, yay.
Yeah.
This is why you don't throw your life away for these jobs.
No,
And don't put them before your family.
don't.
They're not worth it.
They're not. I don't have nothing else to add. My bad.
Well, thank you for watching this video.
Please comment, like, and subscribe. You don't need to give it 2 weeks notice to subscribe.
Yeah.
You also don't need to give 2 weeks to unsubscribe. You can just unsubscribe if you don't like our content. Well, please don't.
But place your stories down below in the comments.
Oh yeah, please do. Please do. And little quick tip here. Don't ask your boss about 2 week notice honoring. Ask your coworkers and just get us like some stories. Like, did someone get fired after week in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Like, cause who knows? They might get you with that.
Yeah.
You can never just tell them no more.
Kind of like discreetly ask around or try to dig up something on the internet. Maybe there's subreddits for your workplace.
Since Glassdoor exists, maybe your company's been on Glassdoor, or maybe they got a review somewhere else.
Yeah.
And
That too.
that's all I gotta say. Sorry for being so long.
But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Please share the video and please get us to 1,000 subscribers.
Bye.
Bye.